Kamaru Usman is one of the greatest welterweights of all time, but he has been struggling as of late. It's been almost 4 years since his last win, and in those 4 years, we have an entirely new welterweight division. We have a new champion. We have new contenders. We have new people in the top 5 rankings. Joaquin Buckley is working his way up. He's undefeated at his new weight class, and we're about to find out if there's going to be a changing of the guard. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to break down the entire UFC Atlanta fight card, giving you my picks, predictions, and bets. But before we do that, I don't have the slide that you think I have here. Normally, I would have a Home Alone face thumbnail. I'll talk about UFC 316 for a few seconds and then tell you to watch that recap video. But I have to film this early. The wife is dragging us to the water park. So instead of getting to watch UFC 316 at home with the boys, I'm going to be watching it in the hotel room after floating in a sea of piss all day long. This is me. This is a real picture of me enjoying the water park. Big, juiced up Ange. Look at me. I grew a nice goatee, living life. And I am going to have some fun with the family, but I do hate doing these things on pay-per-view days. And I had it on the family calendar. I said, Tiff, it is UFC 316. You know the deal. This is work. We can't go do this shit on pay-per-view weeks. But I don't know if you have a woman in your life. They don't listen. They don't listen. They don't care. They don't listen. So I'm at the water park. You're going to get your UFC 316 recap video. I'll film it in the hotel room. So I don't have the thumbnail for you, but it's there. Go watch it. It also means I have to film this video a little early. Normally I do it Sunday morning. I have the beauty of hindsight of what happened the night before. I have to film this Friday morning. We're about to get in the car and trek 3 hours. So let's assume UFC 316 did all the things, because this is where I would brag about the safety parlay. I might look stupid right now. Maybe it missed. Maybe it hit. If it did hit, we are 8-1 in the last 9. That's an all-time streak. Safety parlay continues to be the beacon of stability. If we missed, did I only get 7 of 9 correct? Did I get 7 of 9 safety parlays correct? Still the beacon of stability. Nobody bats 1,000. Not in this sport, not in this game. You can unlock the safety parlay and every other bet that we have, not only for UFC Atlanta, but all of these fight cards. We have UFC Atlanta, this card. Then we have UFC Baku. Then we have UFC 317. That's International Fight Week with Ilya and Charles. Then we have the fight night with your boy Derek Lewis, the all-time knockout king. None of these cards are in the Apex. We got a nice little stretch here with no Apex cards. So if you do want to check out the safety parlay, if you want to check out every pick, every bet, every tool, here's the events that you will get with your membership. Go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. It's $10. It's $10 for an entire month. For an entire month. You get access to every single thing we do for $10 freaking dollars. A lot of you love to just copy paste the bets, especially the safety parlay, the beacon of stability. But we have a whole bunch of tools. Fight Simulator got a big upgrade. The Fight Simulator simulates fights 100,000 times, and it gives you those outputs. Now what it does is it gives you a peek behind the curtain, and it gives you the outputs from the simulations for each individual thing. For example, we've been using it to crush our prize picks and underdog fantasy entries because it'll show us how many significant strikes on average these fighters are landing in those 100,000 simulations. Same logic with takedowns, same logic with knockdowns, and you can use that information to build some DraftKings lineups. You can use it to go to your favorite sports book or to do daily fantasy prop games like Prize Picks. We also have a tape index. For those of you who like to do your own research, you like to watch the fights with your own eyes, draw your own conclusions. Instead of wasting hours of your day searching the depths of hell to try to find these videos, we got them all lined up for you. If you go to Tape Index, you'll see every fighter on every card. You'll see their full fight history. And if there's a little red play button, you click it, video pops up, you can watch that fight. We have a DraftKings optimizer that builds lineups for you. And we have the industry-first beginner mode built into that DraftKings optimizer. For those of you who have never done this before, you don't know what any of it means, you can just answer some logical questions instead of being expected to understand all these complicated numbers. We do have an app. You don't need the app. I have done such a good job promoting this damn app. Some people think you need it. You don't need it. Everything that we offer is available on a desktop browser, a mobile browser, any browser you want. Chrome, Safari, anything you want. On your phone, your tablet, your computer. It's available anywhere in the world, on any device, using any browser. But also, if you want to have the app, download the app. You get the beautiful app experience, and then on top of it, push notifications so we can let you know exactly when we place bets, so you can see it right then and there instantly. Tail it, don't tail it, doesn't matter. At least you found out about it before the line moved. And finally, UFC 317, right around the bend, is a vlog. I'm going to be going to Vegas. So we're going to film that vlog. We'll have some fun doing it. I'm filming a vlog now. Like right now, I'm filming this on Friday morning. I already started the vlog. We're going to be at the water park. Maybe you catch a nipple shot. I don't know. But we're going to read some mail in this vlog. We're going to read some mail in the next vlog. If you want to send something for us to open, to read, to interact with, send it to We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406 in Prosper, Texas, 75078. And I mentioned, I'll be in Vegas for UFC 317. We did this last year too. We went to International Fight Week, and I met a shit ton of you. I met you at UFC X. I met you at the fights themselves. And I said, anybody who comes up to me, if you want a drink, I'll buy you a drink. You guys have been supporting us for years. And my little show of appreciation is, I'll get you a drink. Pretty simple. UFC X, a couple people took me up on that. And if you want to have a drink on the big man, let's go like Ilia Topuria. Dude's drinking wines after cutting weight. Let's go ahead, have a drink together. If you see me, come say hi. My wife will be with me. So just a quick reminder, don't embarrass me in front of my wife. Okay? She already is mean. The last thing she needs is a little fuel. Oh, remember when that guy called you fat in person? No. I'll be there. We're actually not going to be at the fights. I'm flying back home for the fights because we got family in town and all that. But we'll be there Thursday, Friday, hanging out, do the things. You see me, say hi. I'll buy you a drink. We'll have a drink together. Thank you all genuinely for the support, both in real life and virtually while watching these videos. Let's go ahead and break down this card. UFC Atlanta, UFC 316, UFC Vegas 107. All three of those cards have had wild additions, wild scraps, last-minute switcheroos. This card is no different. I have three fights I'm about to break down that are brand spanking new, and this is one of them. We got Malcolm Wellmaker taking on the returning Kris Moutinho. This was out of nowhere. I don't think either one of these gentlemen was on this card. Kris wasn't even in the UFC. And then here we are. They slapped this fight together. And you know what? While it's not the greatest fight, this will be a one-sided beating. It is still a showcase of a young, oh my God. I was going to say young and up and coming, but I said yumming. And now it sounds like I was just going to call Malcolm Wellmaker yummy. While it is Pride Month, and I'm an ally, right? I got friends. I'm not calling young men yummy. Okay? I'm not that much of an ally. So let's just fully recognize that I'm speaking quickly. It's a Friday morning. I'm about to get in a new car to drive 3 hours to go to a water park I don't really want to go to. And I was mixing the words young and up and coming. I didn't call the dude yummy. Nah, is he a great looking dude? Of course he is. And if I was a different man, maybe I would call him yummy. His fight style is pretty tasty because he's a powerful striker. He's got great accuracy. He's got phenomenal timing on that strike. He does a really nice job managing range with that long jab, and he fires it away. He's not overly aggressive, but he does do a really nice job fully committing when he wants to throw a counter. People will come at him aggressively. He will plant, and he will absolutely go. He can grapple as well. He's got solid takedowns, even better takedown defense. He is coming off his back-to-back counter knockout win. This time was in his UFC debut against a former prospect, Cameron Saman. He's taking on Kris Moutinho. This might be a name that you recognize. He made a name for himself by absorbing an insane amount of strikes in his short notice UFC debut against Sean O'Malley. He was literally hit 230 times. 177 of those strikes went right to his face. But he stayed in the fight mostly, and he just kept throwing back. Style-wise, he's a striker. He comes forward, he throws punches. It's just that simple. He doesn't mix in a whole bunch of different techniques. He does have some wrestling, nothing amazing. He is 0-2 in the UFC, but they kicked his ass to the curb. He went to the regional scene. He racked up 5 finish wins in a row just to be gobbled back up and thrown back to the wolves. Some people have some pretty trash luck, or they have trash managers. Some people have both. Charles Johnson's a good example. The guy's a great fighter. Like the dude, very likable guy, good personality, very good fighter. And the UFC is just like, here's another undefeated prospect. Here's another one. And Kris Moutinho's in a similar boat. It's a little different, though, because Kris Moutinho got the short notice call-up against Sean O'Malley. You got to take the short notice call-up. Doesn't matter who it's against, you got to take it. Because even if you get mauled, as he did, UFC will do you a favor, give another one. And they did give him another one. They gave him an aging, middle-of-the-road guy, and he could not win that fight. So then they said, get the hell out of here. So they sent him back. They kicked him back down to the regional scene, and he's earned his way back up. But the UFC didn't say, hey, good job, like they did with Youssef Zalal, right? They didn't say, good job, here's an interesting matchup, let's see how good you actually are. They said, all right, welcome back, motherfucker. Here's Malcolm Wellmaker. So Kris Moutinho's going to go in here. He's going to get absolutely mauled. He's going to get mauled. If Guido Canetti finished the dude, Malcolm Wellmaker is. And that's the narrative. People are going to remember that he took a beating from Sean O'Malley. And they're going to be like, he's so durable. He's not durable, like basically at all. He's got 6 losses. They're pretty much all finishes. He is not a durable guy. People are going to tell you he is because Sean O'Malley beat the piss out of him. But Sean O'Malley finished him. People are forgetting that part. And then he went out there and he got finished by Guido Canetti. Malcolm Wellmaker's going to smoke this dude. Anything under minus 1,000 for Wellmaker is probably a gift. We don't have odds yet. This fight was literally just announced. And as I mentioned, I'm filming this on a Friday. Then we have Philip Rowe taking on Ange Loosa. This entire card, top to bottom, is going to be a little tricky because we have, as I mentioned, a lot of new matchups. We also have a lot of close matchups. Like, this is a well put together fight. We got 2 strikers, 2 guys that'll get after it. Neither one of them are exceptional at any one thing. They're both sort of in the same point of their career. So we have a lot of matchups exactly like this, which makes picking these fights a little trickier. We got Philip Rowe, a long, rangy striker. He does a good job using that length, trying to find some power. He will maintain distance. His ground game is actually fantastic. His wrestling needs a little bit of work, though. Despite managing range well, he can be hittable. And you can see here he has a negative striking differential. He is one of the tallest guys in the division. He is somehow hit more often than he hits his opponents. He's coming off that frustrating loss to Jake Matthews where he seemed flat and he had his strikes doubled. He's taking on Ange Loosa, a durable striker with decent volume. He's got solid power. He's got an incredible chin on his side. He pumps his jab like crazy. He throws out big low kicks to manage range, and then he likes to keep his people backing up. He can have a little bit of trouble if you come at him, if you pressure him, and he can't back you up. But his volume of almost 6 significant strikes landed per minute do a pretty good job of making sure you can't close the distance. He's got an 83% takedown defense, a handful of his own takedowns, including 4 in his most recent loss to Gabriel Bonfim. This is another new fight to the card. They just added this a little while ago. We don't have odds just yet. I'm honestly not sure who the favorite is going to be here. Phil has moments where he looks spectacular, but he can also be low volume. Ange is fast. He is powerful, but he can't seem to put together the wins that you're expecting him to. Pick-wise, I'm just going to lean Ange Loosa. The reality is that if Phil comes out hesitant and flat, like he did in his last fight against Jake Matthews, he's going to get out-volume, likely out-wrestled as well. I expect Ange to be busier, and I think he's going to sneak out a close decision. He doesn't get a lot of decisions. Judges don't really love that style for some reason, but I do think he can get this one done. If we get the odds and Ange is an underdog, I might make look something happen here. We'll see what happens when we get the odds. Now, I don't care about the odds when I do the picks because I do my full research, my full notes, I make my pick, and then I look at the odds. And typically, if I pick the favorite and I look and they happen to be the favorite, it's like, all right, well, it is what it is, right? No real value here depending on the numbers. But if I pick somebody and they're a dog, and then I look at the odds, it's like, holy shit, this person's the underdog? That's usually when I'll place that bet. We'll see what happens with Ange Loosa. So while I don't need the odds to affect the pick, I do like to see the odds after the fact to see if I'm anywhere near on track. Like, I might look at this and Ange Loosa's a 4-1 dog, and it's like, what the hell am I missing? And this entire card's got a couple of those matchups. Not this one, though. Not only is this not a new matchup, this was previously booked. This was supposed to happen about a month ago at the Apex. Bellato had to pull out because of a medical issue, so it was fully canceled. Now it's rebooked. It's been a month. Last week, I went on and on about a couple of short notice guys with some medical things, talking about Markel Medeiros, and he was sick. And this has been long enough that I don't know what Rodolfo's medical issue was, but it's been long enough. It's been a month. He's fine. This isn't a Macy Barber situation where she was on death's door about to retire, still somehow tried the fight. We got Paul Craig. We've broken this guy down 1 million times. It's the same breakdown every single time. No evolution in his game whatsoever. On his feet, not great. On the ground, very good. Simple. That's the breakdown. He's never out of a fight. More than one fight, he got the shit kicked out of him, pulled off a win late. More than one fight, he took his beating, continued to move forward, managed to make something happen. He's bounced between weight classes. He went full vegan. He went down. Oh, I feel the best I've ever felt. He went to 85, looked good in one fight, didn't look good after that. Now here he is back at 205, eating the meat, having eggs, letting all those little baby animals die for his pleasure. What an absolute turncoat. Paul Craig is coming off of that loss to Bo Nickel. And yes, Bo Nickel just lost, so the quick, easy thing is Bo Nickel sucks and Paul... Listen, Bo Nickel winning that fight was because Bo Nickel had good technical striking and he stayed busy, and Paul Craig couldn't really get anything done. Bo Nickel losing to RDR is because he's a dumbass who thought he was going to chase a guillotine, so he jumped, ended up on his back, got mauled, and then that second round, he was just not the same because he felt that giant man pressure on top of him in the first. Paul Craig losing to Bo Nickel is obviously not great, but he was never a good striker, so does that really matter? He's taking on Rodolfo Bellato, a heavy-handed grappler. He's going to come forward. He will bomb away. He'll stick around for a slugfest. Nah, it's a slug fight. It's sloppy as shit. He's a grappler, ultimately wants to get these fights on the ground. His takedowns could use some work, but once they get to the ground, once he works his way there, he's got great control. He will chase submissions. You'll see that he's got a couple of losses in his career. Both of them are to the same person in Vitor Petrino. He is coming off that majority draw to Jimmy Crute, where he gave up a 10-8 in the first. Now that is a situation. While I just told you, don't look at Paul Craig's loss to Bo Nickel and assume, oh, he sucks. But you can look at Rodolfo Bellato's draw with Jimmy Crute and be like, dude, this guy sucks. At least Bo Nickel's a high-level athlete that's evolving. Jimmy Crute's like a ironic mullet-having turd who retired and unretired. So making Jimmy Crute look like Roy Jones Jr. is not a great look. Listen, here's the reality. Paul Craig can win this fight. He can win any fight that he's in. He's kind of shit, though. He is very dangerous on the ground. His wrestling sucks so bad, he can't get it there. He can't force a takedown. If Rodolfo's lighting him up on the feet, Paul Craig can't get it to the ground. Now, if you take Paul Craig down, he will happily oblige. Would not be the first time that somebody was beating his ass, took him down because that's their comfort zone, and then Paul Craig submitted him. So as long as Rodolfo Bellato doesn't do something stupid, he should be fine. I don't see him getting submitted either. Rodolfo Bellato should absolutely win this fight. Paul Craig's not very good. Paul Craig's had the roller coaster of weight classes. Rodolfo Bellato, just keep your elbows in. If you end up on the ground and on the feet, just bomb away and you'll be fine. Then we have Ricky Simón taking on Charles Jourdain. Ricky Simón, high-energy wrestling beast. He's going to dive at legs with 100% effort over and over and over until he gets a takedown. If he doesn't get a takedown, there's no plan B. Just right back to shooting takedowns. His biggest asset is definitely his gas tank, his willingness to stick to that game plan. He's not a technical striker, but it is there to set up some takedowns, and he does obviously, very clearly, have some real power, and we just saw that back in February when he knocked out Javid Bajarat in the first round. He's taking on Charles Jourdain. Charles Jourdain is a fun come-forward striker. He's pretty fast. He's got great timing. He's willing to take chances. He'll spin, he'll fly, he'll do all the things. He's not the most technical guy in the world either, but he is one of the more exciting ones. He's an absolute dog. He will keep fighting regardless of how ugly that fight gets. He'll stay in your face. He'll continue to look for finishes. He's coming off that bounce-back win over Victor Henry, where he was taken down 4 times and then ultimately found that guillotine in the second. This should be Ricky all day long. There's no surprises about his game plan, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to stop it. I don't see Charles having good enough takedown defense to stop the shots, to stop the second shot, to stop the third shot. I don't think he's going to get another random guillotine as well. So I think Ricky gets it done. I'm pretty confident in that. And if Ricky's anything, he's consistent. His losses are quality to some of the best people in the division. And I know he's going to shoot 1 million takedowns. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Then we have Vanessa Demopoulos stepping up on short notice against Jamey Lynn Horth. Vanessa Demopoulos was not on this card. Jamey Lynn Horth was. So, hey, look at this. Another new fight on this card. No odds. Doesn't really matter. I am curious to see what these odds are going to be, but I made up my mind as soon as I saw this matchup. We'll start with Jamey Lynn Horth. She was already on this card. Solid striker, good power. She moves well. She mixes up various kickboxing techniques, all while pressuring forward. She's got high fight IQ. She'll follow her game plan well. Her takedown defense, however, is not very good in the open mat, but against the cage, she's very hard to take down. If she does get taken down, she works her way back up. She doesn't play the jiu-jitsu game. She's trying to create scrambles and make space. She's coming off that loss to Miranda Maverick with the size. And the cage defense was on full display. She's taking on Vanessa Demopoulos. Vanessa Demopoulos is the little engine that could. Solid striker. She likes to hang out inside the pocket. No real power, but she's got volume. She's got footwork. She'll just continue to move. If it does go to the ground, Vanessa's got okay grappling, and she can make something happen. Her takedown defense is very low at 25%, and it did fail her in the last fight against Talita Alencar, where she gave up 4 takedowns. This is the 3rd fight on the card. Super new, no real odds. Jamey was already booked. Vanessa stepping up on short notice. I have to imagine that after Vanessa's last outing, she is going to be the underdog here. And while it's not as if Jamey has been a world beater as of late, she is enormous. She showed that she can defend takedowns well against the cage. I'm expecting Jamey to be too big for Vanessa. She's giant. There's a 5-inch difference. And you know what? In a lot of these little women weight classes, just sheer size and bully power are enough, and I think that's exactly what we have here. I think the range is going to be an issue, the length is going to be an issue, the striking is going to be an issue, strength. I think it's a pretty straightforward win for Jamey. If I'm wrong and the odds are somehow close or plus money, I 100% will bet on Jamey here. I mean, a lady over is probably fine as well, the over 2.5. Normally, I'd be like, it's pretty close, a plus 3.5 bet. And that plus 3.5 bet in these women fights hits more often than not. But I think this is a clear, I don't know what success Vanessa's going to have. Now, she has been gifted some decisions in the past. The judges do seem to like her just forward pressure, but I don't think any of it's going to matter here. Jamey Lynn Horth is the pick, pretty confident in that. Then we have another really good matchup. I opened up this card talking about some of these matchups are perfect. They're perfect. 2 people at the same point in their career, about evenly matched. The skills are about the same, and it's just good matchmaking. This is one of those fights. We got 2 aging guys. Pretty similar styles, pretty similar success as of late. We got 2 guys that are at the exact same point in their career, which is the end of it. So let's just figure out who has some life left and who should probably be walking out the door. We got Michael Chiesa taking on Court McGee. Michael Chiesa is a good grappler. Pretty one-dimensional guy, straightforward game plan. He's going to come forward, look for takedowns, and he'll work from there. He does not have a versatile set of takedowns, but he has a few that he uses, like body locks. Get you to the cage, squeeze you, work you to the ground. Once on top, he's got solid pressure. He can alternate between ground and pound and then flowing with you to find a submission. He's coming off that submission win over Max Griffin. He's taking on Court McGee. Court McGee's another battle-tested veteran. He's been around forever. Old school guy. He's incredibly tough. He's very durable still at this age. He has solid striking, solid grappling. He never quits. He's good everywhere. He's not great anywhere, but he has become a bit of a grappler in the last few years. He has 11 takedowns and almost 30 minutes of control time in his last 6 fights. He's coming off that submission win over Tim Means, where the hands looked really good. Then he transitioned to the grappling, and we talked about the insane squeeze and just raw power this guy had in that neck crank. And it's an interesting fight. I mentioned, on paper, it makes a ton of sense. 2 older vets, pretty evenly matched. But for some reason, these odds do not think it's close. It has a blowout for Michael Chiesa. And I get that he's younger, but we're talking 37 to 40. It's not like he's 28. He's not a young prospect. These are both old dudes, objectively, in this sport. This fight likely comes down to who gets the first takedown. Both of these guys are primarily grapplers. Neither one of them will look great off of their back. Style-wise, Chiesa is probably the slightly better, just raw jiu-jitsu grappler, but McGee is stronger. He's a little thicker, a little grindier. But if we look outside of the octagon, Michael Chiesa is very focused on the desk career, the front of the camera career, whereas Court McGee basically only has this, and he's all in. I think Court looked unbelievable in his last fight. I think he's insanely durable, and I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to pick him here. The bet in all likelihood is probably plus 3.5. 2 old guys getting after it. Betting money lines, a little risky at this point, but plus 3.5, I absolutely think that Court McGee, if he doesn't outright win this fight, can win a single round. I think we got a couple of back and forth exchanges. Court McGee's wildly durable. Michael Chiesa is not very dangerous. Obviously, he can find a submission. He's done it as of late, but I think Court McGee is well-versed enough on the ground to not get subbed. Again, whoever gets the first takedown is going to win this fight. Neither one of these guys can look good off their back. I'm going to lean Court McGee here. I don't know why these odds are what they are. Like I said, if Michael Chiesa was 30, fine. But he's 37. And it's not like he's looked insanely fat. I am surprised by the gap in these odds. I could get making Michael the favorite, but the gap seems a little wide here. So I'm going Court McGee because I don't think he has the same outside of the octagon distractions. Then we have Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa. We have 3 Codys in a row on this card. We're going to start with Durden. Then we're going to go to Garbrandt. Then we're going to go to Brundage. 3 Codys. Let's see if we're going to have a Cody sweep. We got Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa. Cody Durden, pressure wrestler. We know that. He's been the exact same guy in his entire UFC career. He averages around 4 takedowns per fight. He likes to come forward. He'll throw looping power shots and then look for those takedowns. He will chain wrestle, continue diving at legs until it eventually gets there. While his wrestling can be nonstop pressure, he doesn't have a lot of control. He's got great cardio, great pressure, but a very suspect chin. He's coming off that battering loss to Joshua Van where he could not get the takedowns. He's taking on Jose Ochoa, a well-rounded guy who is happy to slug it out or work in some grappling. His takedown defense is solid. And he does a really good job defending the actual takedown instead of working in random pitter-patter strikes. He'll push the head. He'll work his hips instead of like this nonsense that does absolutely nothing for nobody. He has had finishes on the feet, more to do with the incredible pressure and volume than raw power. He can be hittable, but he is very durable and he can hang. He's coming off that decision loss to Loner Kavanaugh where he seemed frozen in rounds 1 and 3. But in the second round, we got a glimpse of why he was such a highly touted prospect. But here we go again. A hyped prospect who lost in their UFC debut and is now a considerable favorite in this matchup. Jose Ochoa is the favorite here. 3-1, almost. And I can kind of understand it, but go ask Jordan Vucenic how that worked. Showed up in his UFC debut, lost, and then came out massive favorite, lost again. This is a pretty straightforward breakdown. If Cody Durden can get the takedowns, he can win this fight. If he cannot, then he can't. It's just that simple. His striking is not good enough to hang, especially with these young, fast, clean guys. Jose seemingly has very good takedown defense, but he hasn't fought any wrestlers as determined or as credentialed as Cody. It's really hard to make a pick here because I could see Jose's pressure working against him, meaning he's going to come forward thinking he has success, overcommit, Cody's going to drop and shoot. Or I could see Cody just being washed up at this point, not able to beat any of these young guys because the sport passed him by because he never got better at anything and just sticks to shooting a million takedowns. This is a close, interesting fight. I'm probably going to lean Cody here. My pick might change later this week. Watch the Tuesday live stream with Jacob. I might go that direction. I'm leaning Cody Durden. Because at least he's battle tested. He's a little chinny, but he doesn't quit. He's going to shoot the takedowns. He's going to stay in Jose's face. And if Jose comes out here with almost no experience, expecting to walk through an older guy, I don't quite know if it's going to go that way. So first Cody on the board, check, pick the Cody. And before we move to the second Cody, let me move $50 into your wallet. The only thing you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our affiliate partners. Make a deposit. We send you $50 for free. It's affiliate marketing. You use the link to sign up and make an account. They're going to pay me. Hey, Ange, thanks for the customer. Then I'm going to slice off $50 and give it right back to you. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets. You have to use the link. I mention this all the time, and it still doesn't prevent it from happening. You have no idea how many people reach out. Hey, I didn't get my 50. And I said, oh, what's your account? Let me look it up. And then I look it up. Hey, it's not. I don't see the account in the affiliate portal. Did you use the link? Well, I used the promo code. We don't have a promo code. It's the link. Got to use the link. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Check out the website. Fight Simulator has been doing amazing things for us, because we've been using it well beyond the core of what it's supposed to be used for. At its core, it simulates the fights, it gives you the outputs, and then you can build some DraftKings fantasy lineups for it. But what we've done now is we've added average lines. We've added more statistics and outputs. So now when you run the 100,000 simulations, you can not only see who wins and loses, you can also see how many strikes they land in those wins and losses, how many takedowns they get, how many DraftKings fantasy points they score, prize picks, underdog. You can see all of that information and then go to your favorite sports book, go to a daily fantasy prop game, and you can find other spots. I've been using it for the props. We've been crushing prize picks and underdog by using the fight simulator. I look at the lines on prize picks. Let's say it says, 30 significant strikes. Then I go to the fight simulator. I run the simulation. I see, actually, the simulator says he's going to land 80 significant strikes. That's a huge gap. Let's go ahead and do the over. Fight Simulator is available on the website right now. The tape index is available on the website right now. You're going to see every fight on every card. their full fight history. And if there's a little red play button, you click the play button, video pops up. We have the brand new optimizer. That's available on the website. This will build DraftKings fantasy lineups for you. And we have the beginner mode where you don't need to know what the numbers are. You don't need to know how to mess with exposure. What you can do is just answer some logical questions like who are confident favorites, who are confident underdogs. It'll do all the work for you. We have everything inside of an app. You don't need the app. You can just use the website, any browser on any device, on any planet. But if you want to use the app, make sure notifications are turned on so that when we do place bets and we send you a push notification, you can see that on your phone and either hop on or ignore it. But either way, you didn't miss out on it when it happened. Here's a look at all the cards you will unlock with premium membership. If you go to WeWantPicks.com right now, you click Become a Member. First of all, it's only $10. It's only $10. We have a big enough audience that a lot of you who watch these videos don't even know that there's this underbelly of MMA where people are breaking down fights and selling a service on their website. So I'm the first person you see do this. So you don't really know what the price should be. And all you see is all of these amazing tools and everything at $10, but it doesn't probably register how insane of a value that is. I encourage you to go check out the other services. Start with the big companies. Go look at Roto Grinders. Go look at Awesemo. Massive companies only sell DFS, not even bets. And they're charging $60, $80, $100 a month. $10 a month. It's the volume business. Obviously, if we had 50 customers, we'd be screwed and none of this would work. But we're in the volume business. You give people an amazing product at an unbelievable price. You will get a lot of people to not only sign up, but stick around. So the many thousands of you that have done that, I appreciate you. Those of you that haven't, what do you have to lose? Quite literally, worst case scenario, you spend $10, you don't like it. That's it. Best case scenario, you spend $10, you have an unbelievable weekend, you paid for a year's worth of membership, and now you know what it's like to have a leg up. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. UFC 317 is a vlog, and we will be filming a vlog that weekend. If you want us to open up something, interact with, read the mail, whatever it is, send it to the P.O. Box. We Want Picks, P.O. Box 406, Prosper, Texas, 75078. And I will be at UFC 317 with my wife. Not the actual fights. We got some weird life circumstances where I got to come back, but we'll be flying in on Thursday, hanging around Vegas, getting some food, getting some drinks. Friday, we're going to go to UFC X. That's the giant convention. Walk around, hang out there, have a few drinks. Saturday morning, we're out. But if you see us Friday at UFC X, maybe we'll hit up the weigh-ins, maybe we'll hit up the press conference. If you see it at any of those things, say hello. I will buy you a drink. I appreciate every last one of you, even if all you do is watch a video, because watching a video helps validate everything that we do. So I appreciate all of you. The only way I can really show appreciation is A, make premium the greatest product on this planet. That's been our mission from day one. And B, spend a couple of bucks and buy you an actual drink. Non-alcoholic beverages as well. You want a Coke? I'll get you a Coke. Come say hi if you see us at UFC 17. Let's go ahead and break down this main card. Right back to the Codys. There's 3 of them on this card. I already picked one. Let's see what we're going to pick here. We got Cody Garbrandt taking on Raoni Barcelos. Cody Garbrandt, former world champion. He has some highs. He's had some lows these last 5 years. He's a phenomenal boxer, fantastic footwork, very real power. When he is on, he is unbelievable. He beat Dominic Cruz to win the belt with that phenomenal footwork and might be like one of the best performances I've ever seen. Just single in a silo performances. That Cody Garbrandt win over Dominic Cruz was unbelievable. That is also getting farther and farther and farther away. And it is a struggle while breaking down guys like Cody Garbrandt to not just remember the good times. We got to remember the absolute dog shit as well. But he had a lot of good times. Lately, chasing, getting cracked in the chin. Most recently, dragged to the ground by Divas and Figueiredo and then quickly submitted at UFC 300. He's taking on Raoni Barcelos. Raoni Barcelos is aging. He's listed at 38 years old. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Jose Aldo situation here where he's far older than that. But he's an incredibly well-rounded fighter. He can still get wins at this level. Striking-wise, he's got great low kicks, solid volume. He sets a great pace. Wrestling-wise, a 5-time Brazilian national wrestling champion who averages around 2 takedowns per fight, and he's impossible to take down at his 82% takedown defense. He's good everywhere, but he is definitely slowing down with age. He's coming off that insane underdog win over Peyton Talbot where he had 8 takedowns. And that win, Raoni Barcelos' last win, is statistically the biggest underdog win of 2025. He very handily beat an unbelievable, undefeated prospect that was the talk of the town. He reminded everybody how good of a wrestler he is. This fight's a little different, though. Where Peyton was exposed for being a bit unpolished, Cody, at least at one point in time, was one of the most skilled bantamweights on planet Earth. And I understand Honey being the favorite here, because if he just goes all in on the wrestling, he can win a pretty straightforward fight. But I think I'm going to slightly lean Cody here. I think he'll be a little faster. There's certainly the power there, and Hani doesn't have the power in the hand, so we don't have to worry about Cody getting a little overly aggressive and then eating a big one. As long as Cody keeps his feet moving and doesn't get dragged to the ground, which is a distinct possibility, then he should have some success here. He just needs to avoid the wrestling. Very low confident pick, but I am picking the second Cody to get it done. We'll see what these odds look like later. I don't... Betting on Cody Garbrandt right now in his career is a tough thing to do, so I don't think I'm going to bet, but I am going to go ahead and lean the guy. We got 2 Codys on the board. I've picked them both. Now we have the third Cody. This is a very different Cody to break down. We've got Cody Brundage, and he is taking on Mansur Abdul-Malik. This is a very different fight. Cody Brundage is a heavy-handed kill-or-be-killed guy. He's got very good wrestling, insane power in his hands. He has no problem coming forward, throwing heavy, and then working in a takedown. He does have pretty high-level wrestling background. You don't always see it, but when you do, it's pretty apparent. He averages almost 3 takedowns per 15 minutes, but even in a dominant wrestling match, he's got some big power as well. He can keep himself safe. For the first 5 minutes, he's one of the most dangerous fighters in the division. After that, it's kind of a steep fall off. Cody Brundage is a guy that has unbelievable talent, right? He's a high-level wrestler. He's got insane power in his hands. He's willing to slug it out. But if things start to go the other direction, it piles on pretty quickly. He's coming off that knockout win over Julian Marquez just a few months ago, where he was also an underdog. He's taking on Mansur Abdul-Malik. He's a very good wrestler. He has college wrestling experience, and he does all the things you would expect a Division I athlete wrestler to do. He comes forward, he throws heavy, and then he wrestles. His takedowns are big and they are clean. His striking is powerful. He does a nice job lifting if he gets to the legs. And then he'll control you on ground. He's got great elbows on top, and he will work. He's coming off that knockout win over Nick Klein, where he was in some trouble early. And it was very nerve-wracking. But the good news is he showed us that he can work through some adversity. While he was on ice skates and was in a little bit of trouble, he didn't quit. He didn't back up. He worked through it, came out and got his own finish in the next round. There's 3 Codys on this card. I keep mentioning it. I picked the first 2 already. And according to the fight order, they're fighting back to back to back. I don't know if we're going to get a hat trick here. Probably not, though, because Cody Brundage is an insanely talented fighter. He's insanely dangerous, but I do think Mansur is and can be someone special. He was in very real trouble in his last fight, which had all of us gasping, about to just call this guy a major fraud. I remember watching that fight on my phone. We were at a restaurant, and I was like, God fucking Jesus, I swear to God. I was furious. Pretty sure he was in the safety parlay. And I was just fuming. Like, this is a jiu-jitsu nerd. Fuming. But then he got it done. And now with the benefit of hindsight, I get to look at it and say, you know what? This guy was in some very real trouble for the first time in his career at a high-level stage. And he didn't wilt. He gutted it out, got through it, and then finished that fool. I would like to think that Mansur and his fight camp understand how insanely dangerous Cody Brundage is. And say, you know what? Let's not engage with that. Let's just wrestle. You're an unbelievable wrestler. Let's just wrestle. We'll take away the sting and the craziness. We'll get rid of the power early. Let's just wrestle. We'll hang on for a little bit. We'll weather that early storm. And if he does that, I think Mansur wins. If he engages in a firefight, he's absolutely screwed. He's screwed. If he engages in a firefight, Cody Brundage can absolutely win that fight. So I'm going to pick Mansur because I think the adversity in his last fight gave him a little bit of a wake-up call. Reminded him that he's a human being and he can't be playing games, especially with somebody as dangerous as Cody Brundage. This is a sneaky good fight. There is 100% a world where Cody Brundage wins this fight, and not like a sketchy win, like a straight-up boom type win. So I'm picking Mansur. I'm probably going to stay away from this one. Let's see how good he actually is or is not. I think this is a perfect matchup because there's somebody very dangerous across the cage, somebody who can also wrestle, somebody who has great hands. Let's see how you do there because you were in a little trouble against that jiu-jitsu nerd, Nick Klein. Then we have Edmen Shahbazian taking on Andre Petroski. Another pretty interesting matchup here with some pretty wide odds. Edmen Shahbazian, a 2-1 favorite. This guy alternating wins and losses. Andre Petroski, a year and a half ago, was a laughingstock with a couple of really tough losses to watch. But here he is on a nice little 3-fight win streak. So this could be a very interesting fight that doesn't quite go the way people think it will. We have Edmen Shahbazian, a good striker who's well-rounded. He has impressive kicks. He does get taken down a good amount, though, because he is long and he plants his feet before throwing. His takedown defense is listed at 65%, and if he is taken down, he ends up in trouble because he doesn't scramble well enough to get back up or really threaten with submissions. He's got solid offensive wrestling, though, with almost 2 takedowns per fight. He's coming off that knockout win over Dylan Budka. He's taking on Andre Petroski. Andre Petroski is a very good wrestler with great takedowns. His stand-up is just okay, but it's loaded with power shots that are there for the wrestling. When he does shoot takedowns, they're fast and they're clean. He has solid BJJ as well that he uses to control positions. Occasionally will snack something up in a submission. He's coming out that very close striking win over Rodolfo Vieira. And I was surprised to see that Edmen was a 2-1 favorite here. While he can get some wins, and we can never forget the absolute disaster that was Andre Petroski when he knocked himself out shooting a takedown, we also can't ignore the fact that he doesn't normally randomly collapse on an entry. He's got some good wrestling. He's got power in his hands. Edmen is a guy that can knock you out early, but also immediately fade and just give the fight away. This is a similar breakdown to the Cody Brundage fight. If Andre Petroski shoots early, avoids the storm, he can absolutely win this fight. I am, though, going to slightly lean Edmen here because Andre just isn't that dangerous on the ground. So even if there's a takedown or two, we have to assume Edmen will survive. Then we have the beginning of the next round, and all these fights start standing where Edmen could have a clear edge. This feels like a trap. This feels like an absolute trap. Like, I am just so surprised at these odds because Andre Petroski can definitely get some takedowns. Andre Petroski can definitely find some power in the hands. Edmen Shahbazian has to somehow land the power while staying mobile enough to not get taken down. Edmen's the better athlete. Edmen hits hard. Andre Petroski's chin is suspect. So let's lean Edmen here, but we're going to be biting our nails the whole time. Then we have Alonzo Menafield taking on Umar Sy in the featured fight of the evening. Alonzo Menafield, still, even at his advanced age, is a guy with very good power, good takedown defense. He's always looking to take your head off with every single punch. His striking can be wild and it can be sloppy, but the power is absolutely unbelievable. And when Alonzo's coming forward and being the aggressor, he is a dangerous guy. But you can't always trust his decision-making and some of his oddly timed takedown attempts. He's coming out that decision win over short-notice UFC comer Julius Walker. He's taking on Umar Sy. This guy's an absolute beast. He is a walking highlight reel of knockouts, slams, and explosive actions. He can strike, he can grapple. He is most dangerous as a striker. He's got 8 finishes in his 11 wins, and that highlights his danger. But it also means that he went to a decision 3 times. And anytime we get an undefeated prospect, I like to watch the decisions. I like to see that they went to a decision because we know they're not finish or bust. We know that over the course of that 15 minutes, there might have been a little bit of trouble that he managed to work through. And while Omar still definitely has a few things to clean up, it's clear that he's improving. It's clear that he's got good enough cardio for his size, and he is coming for his second UFC win. I like Alonzo a lot. I've picked him a whole bunch of times in the past, but this sport is unfortunately not very kind to aging fighters. While Alonzo is still dangerous and can still get wins, I don't see him beating a young, dangerous prospect in Umar. I think Umar is going to be a giant, very fast step ahead of Alonzo Menafield this entire fight. Literally beat Alonzo to the punch. Omar's going to be the pick. I'm obviously pretty confident in that, as are the odds. Then we have our co-main event of the evening. We have Rose Namajunas taking on Miranda Maverick. Rose Namajunas, as we all know, the former strawweight champion of the world. She's a very good fighter everywhere, definitely more well-rounded fighter in this and most matchups. She's got excellent striking, very good wrestling, solid BJJ. Rose has excellent footwork, deceiving power. She has wins over Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Tisha Torres, Jessica Andrade, Weili Zhang, 2 times. And as much as she can be cringy on the microphone in the interviews and she was groomed, you can't argue with her accomplishments. She's coming off that grinding loss to Erin Blanchfield last year. She's taking on Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick is a pressure fighter with solid takedowns and activity. She's very strong. She uses her strength well. She averages more than 2 takedowns per fight, but when she cannot get takedowns, she can struggle. She does have a positive striking differential of about 4 to 3. You could say 3.5 to 2.5. But again, she can struggle if she can't get these fights to the ground, which is why that is the goal. Work forward, get a takedown. She struggled in her last fight because she couldn't really get it to the ground. She is coming off that decision win over Jamey Lynn Horth, where against the cage, almost had no success whatsoever. But in the open mat, she was able to get that takedown to lock in the 3rd round, which is what got her that win. People always comment on almost every one of my videos, Angelo favors wrestlers. Yeah, of course I favor wrestlers. Of course I do, because wrestlers can control where the fight goes. If they're winning striking exchanges, they can keep it on the feet. If they're losing striking exchanges, they can get it to the ground. Miranda's likely going to be losing the striking exchanges here, which means she's going to need to get this to the ground. So the question is, can she? Can she get this to the ground? If she can, then she could pull off a win here. It's only 3 rounds. And the fact that it's only 3 rounds is honestly going to favor Miranda, because Rose can be a slow starter at times. Give up a round. Take her time. All right, let's reset in the next one. Rose is a 5-round fighter. Miranda just needs to have success in 2 of the rounds. So if she can get the takedowns, she can absolutely win this fight. But I don't think she will. I think Rose's footwork is going to be too good. I think the striking is going to be too clean. And as long as she's not just training in some strip mall because they don't get along with any of the coaches that got them success anymore, then hopefully she's good. But if she's just banging around between random gym and it's just her and Pat doing the same shit they've been doing for 10 years, then yeah, this might look really bad. I'm hoping she strings it together. It looks like when she beat Tracy Cortez. Same type thing. Be the much better striker, defend most of the takedowns, and get out this win. Miranda Maverick, we know for a fact she's going to come in shape, strong, ready to go. So I'm just relying on pure technique. Rose Namajunas should absolutely be the just better fighter across the board. And then we have our main event of the evening. We have Kamaru Usman taking on Joaquin Buckley. Kamaru Usman fighting for the first time in a couple of years, looking for his first win in 4. Kamaru, as we all know, is a top 5 welterweight. Some people have him as number 1 or even number 2, depending on where you put GSP in your rankings. He's an accomplished wrestler. He steadily improved the striking over the majority of his career. We've seen power, like when he knocked out Jorge Masvidal. He had volume in the Covington fights. He's beaten a who's who of 170-pounders over the last 5 years, but he's also aging out. He has 18 fights in the UFC with 59 takedowns and 6 title defenses. He's coming off that short notice loss to Khamzat Chimaev at 185 pounds, where he weathered an early storm, but started to take over late. He's taking on Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley is a powerful striker with plenty of movement. He's got good forward pressure. He cuts angles well. We all know he's got power. Now we know he can carry that power late in the fights, just a couple fights ago with Wonder Boy. He's done well working in takedowns in his newfound weight class and his success. He's coming off that TKO win over Colby Covington, where he landed 75 strikes to Kobe's 37. And this is a young man's game. This is also an active man's game. Unfortunately for Kamaru, he's got 2 strikes against him. He's not young and he's not active. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's creeping up on the 40. Kamaru's going to be the much more accomplished fighter in the cage, but also the slower fighter. Joaquin has shown us that speed kills, and I think this is a bad outing for Kamaru. He just went viral about a month or so ago, hanging out with Adesanya and Henry Cejudo, and Henry made the joke that all 3 of them are on 3-fight losing skids. And unfortunately, I think Kamaru's going to be the first one to bump his way to 4. Buckley has the speed, he has the power, he has the cardio. I think he can stay a step ahead of Kamaru the entire time. Buckley's going to be the pick. Minus 270 honestly seems more than fair. So I'm going with the young buck here. I think he's going to continue that success, and I think the UFC is going to use Kamaru Usman to just build the next generation, because that's what they do. I'm glad I get to see him fight another time, but Kamaru's probably going to retire here. And that's the unfortunate reality of this sport. You can be the best on planet Earth for a period of time, and then the fall off is, it's quick and steep. Guys, that's the breakdown. If you haven't downloaded the app, download the app. It's 100% free. 100% free. Just go to the App Store and search We Want Picks. Make sure push notifications are turned on so we can send you notifications when we place bets. Inside the app or on the website, check out all the tools we offer. The Fight Simulator. This is going to simulate fights 100,000 times, not only give you the winners, but also give you the information behind those wins, how many strikes we think they land, how many takedowns, what did the score look like in the DraftKings, Prize Picks, Underdog Fantasy. Check out the Tape Index. Those of you who like to do your own research and watch the fights with your own eyes, go to the Tape Index. You'll see every fighter on every card, a full history of their fights. You click the little play button, boom, it pops up, and you can watch their tape. We have a brand new DraftKings optimizer with the industry-first beginner mode. We have the Data Analyzer. The Data Analyzer is a tool that lets you stack data, filter data, lets you tell a story with the information, the insights, side-by-side comparisons between opponents. And you can use all that information to find your spots, not only now, but future cards as well. Most of these tools are not built for just this week, but they're built for next week, the week after that. Check out the line movement tracker. This will give you the opening odds, current odds, win probability, and a line movement for every fighter on every card. Check out the Prop Hunter, a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. And check out everybody else. It's not just me. It's not just Jacob. We've got Bet Sam breaking down fights. We've got Artem breaking down fights. And we have an artificial intelligence giving you its picks and bets based solely off of historical data. Guys, thanks for the hangout. I appreciate every last one of you. The love has been unbelievable. Thanks for being here. Good luck this weekend. We might need it. This is a tricky fight card.